People don't know this part of the country.
Where am I? This is wild. Yeah, try putting a label on New York. Good luck on that one. Is that where the ice caves are? Is it cool up there, literally?
Oh, it's freezing.
Oh, we're getting really in here.
Take a picture.
Miracle on ice. This is where it happened. Mining's gone.
Mining's gone.
What's holding it together? This was the battle for this part of the country.
I left this town 12 years ago, and I came back and it was deserted.
Mythical creature. You can see here all the sightings over the years.
I've taken care of all 7, single dad, all by myself.
30-minute drive, totally different. All rich snowbirds.
$1 million, that's what you're gonna get here. Nice four-wheeler, buddy.
Thank
So totally different
you.
culture?
Totally different culture.
Good morning, guys. Here on the shores of beautiful Lake Champlain on the Vermont side. But today isn't about Vermont. It's about getting over the lake and going to upstate New York. Now, for many, upstate is pretty much the whole state outside of New York City, which is a massive region. This part of upstate is very special. Home to the largest park in the country in the lower 48, old mining towns, old forts, even home to the Olympics that came in 1980. So today we're gonna go over the lake, get lost on some of these back roads, talk to the locals, and get a better understanding of what this part of the country is like. Let's do this. So once we cross this bridge into New York, we'll end up at this really fascinating historical site called Fort Crown Point. It was built by the British to secure this region from the French. And I grew up not far from here on the Vermont side. And as a kid, whatever I was told to pay attention to or learn about usually did the opposite. And now, as an adult, I can make my early grade school teachers proud and say, this is amazing. I love this now. It's fascinating. This is what's left of the fort, Crown Point. Initially built by the French. You can see we just came over that bridge. So that's Vermont, over into New York. Very strategic, important place, because who controlled this controlled what went through there. And that's what it looked like. Pentagon shape. They had the guns here in the corners. You know, you can see the ring around here where it's built up. Those were the former walls, and then the barracks where the soldiers lived. And I just talked to one of the park guys. Unfortunately, he can't be on camera. Full of history. But just 20 miles south of here is Fort Ticonderoga. So this is in its original state, Crown Point. But Fort Ticonderoga has been completely rebuilt. They have reenactments there. He said both are very interesting. Both were equally as important in the history of this area. But this was the battle for this part of the country. The French-Indian War, the 7-Year War, where basically it was the French and the British with Indians on both sides. Some sided with the French, some sided with the British. And the Brits won out here, and that's why we have a border north of here at the north end of Lake Champlain called Canada. And once you get over that border, it is all French speaking. All right, guys, the super quick rundown of the area. Canada, the French came down. Samuel de Champlain, who the lake is named after, they came down all the way down here. The Dutch came up here. Eventually, the British controlled this. The British controlled this. This area here, now you can't sail through. Currently there are locks, but in the day you had to carry boats around some of these points because the elevation of the water was different. And eventually Benedict Arnold for the Americans, the rebels, and Ethan Allen conquered this, beat out the Brits. Their armies took this into American hands. And since then, it has stayed. The Ethan Allen boys, worth looking into. If you're in this area, put some time into these places. This could be an hour-long video just here. We got to push through today and see a lot. So little sprinkles of what happened, definitely worth checking out or reading up on. All right, so once we entered New York, we entered the Adirondack State Park. 6.1 million acres, making it the biggest park in the lower 48. But it's a bit different. It's not like your national park where nobody's really living in it. There are 130,000 people. So take the park status with a grain of salt. There are, I'm sure, some regulations or rules to what can be built and what can't be. But as you can see, there are houses here. Again, it's not like you're in Yosemite or Yellowstone, but it is cool, and we're getting into it. Here we are, Port Henry. As you saw coming into town, the home of Champ. And Champ is this mythical creature that supposedly lives in Lake Champlain. From my understanding, based off the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. But you can see here all the sightings over the years. Robert Hughes saw this in 1981. Joseph Pratt in the 40s. Look at all these sightings now. We stop at 89. What happened then? The fall of the Berlin Wall. And Champ went away. I don't know. I would love to hear your theories. How you doing? This is beautiful. What do you guys have here? What's going on?
So she found a heart. Maybe half the heart.
Oh, that's cool. So you guys are just exploring out here, huh?
Yeah.
A snake! That is some cool parenting. Letting the kids out there, using their imagination, exploring. Yeah, I shouldn't be on train tracks. Well, I grew up walking down train tracks. You sort of get out of the way a long time before the train comes. Sort of like crossing a street. You'll be surprised how many people have told me not to be anywhere near train tracks. But hey, if you can't have adventure and imagination as a child, well, what do you want? The kids inside on a screen, taking in neon light. That is cool. Well, it's not really happening anymore. There's some people in there sitting down and eating. What's going on out here? Is this functioning, the train station?
So the story with that is they are doing maintenance on the rails. That's the story that we were told anyway.
You guys all want it in town?
We do, yeah. Yeah, it brings in a lot of new people. The other trouble is that it's hard for them to get around once they get here because there's no taxi service.
Oh, okay.
But that's another good thing too with the seniors that are here because they also volunteer to help people that get off the train. So sometimes like they'll give them a ride to the Airbnb.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you from Port Henry?
I am, yes. Yep.
Okay, so what's going on in town?
No, unfortunately not a whole lot. You know, a lot of new businesses come in and it's such a small town. It's really hard to thrive here, I think.
Okay. So what's going on in the train station? You have a lot of older people in there.
Yeah, so I run the nutrition site. They come and sit and socialize and...
That's cool. And so that's for people that don't have the resources or just want to be social or both?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
And so this is an old train station, obviously. Mm-hmm. This old wood and old feel, high ceilings.
Yes,
and
very old.
and I think I'm going to get into that in Port Henry, right? A lot of beautiful old buildings.
Yes, yes. There's still a lot of the original architecture still here, which is really great, especially for people that like to come and visit.
So this is the plan, huh? Montreal, come down here to Port Henry.
Yep.
Fort Ticonderoga. I was just in Crown Point, but Ticonderoga here is amazing.
Yes, you'll definitely have to check that out.
The capital.
Yes.
All the way to New York City.
Yes.
Penn Station.
Yes, and we actually get a lot of people that are from New York City that come here.
Sweet. Cool, there are people like you in town.
Yeah. Not a lot, but. How is everything?
Very good. I'll let you know in a couple hours.
Wonderful.
I can't tell you right now.
They tell it like it is, Morgan.
Oh my God.
Take care.
Yes, take care. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. You too. All right, guys, coming into Port Henry. Looks like there's some logging still going on. And we start to see all of the money that came down here back in the day. So much of America was built off of, oh, look at that, beautiful. Was built off of mining, timber, whatever commodity it might be. And then built up in grandeur like this. And just imagine this, I don't know, 80 years ago, thriving, the church busy. But look at that architecture. The proportions are perfect. I don't know if that comes through on camera. I wonder if they'll bring it back. You hope somebody restores it?
I hope so. It's a beautiful church.
It's beautiful. I love it. So when you were a kid, that was in use?
Yeah.
How many years ago?
I'm 37 now, so I left this town 12 years ago.
And you came back?
And I came back and it was deserted. If you go up the hill up here,
Yep.
there's a big old castle on the right-hand side.
No way.
One of the first man-made pools were built there. This town, Mineville, Witherby, Grover Hills, they all used to be all nothing but mining towns.
So that's the money that built all of this stuff?
Pretty much. And now there's nothing here anymore.
No jobs?
There's jobs, there's a Dollar General, there's the Stewarts, and it's pretty much it. Pretty much it, unless you want to travel 45 minutes south.
Okay, all the best, thank you. Sherman Free Library. Wow, so cool. Look at that, the wood just curves up. Hello, how are you? I'm doing better now. This is such a cool building. This style is beautiful where the roof curves like that.
It is.
I think it's called a cove ceiling, right?
That sounds right. This is just a pet theory, but there were a lot of small boat production operations down on the lakeshore, and I'm guessing they went down and said, hey, guys that know how to bend oak, come on up and let's build a ceiling.
That is cool.
That's my guess.
So Greater Witherby, these were all mining towns back in the day?
Yeah, so Port Henry was sort of the financial center and the center of society and government for all of these hamlets, but they were all small company towns, and many of them just don't exist anymore. We still have places like Witherby and Mariah Center, and Mr. George Riley Sherman, one of the operators of the Witherby's and Sherman Mining Company, gave us this library. The first part was constructed in 1887, which was just the front room.
Okay.
He donated the land, the building, and the library collection itself to the people of Port Henry. And right around 1906, they decided to add on this back extension.
Okay.
As that was happening, there was unfortunately a fire during the construction.
There's always a fire.
There's always if you have a building long enough, there's going to be a fire, especially when you have workmen with pipes and things, smoking cigars while they do their work. But the building was saved thanks to a young lad who, the story goes, and we do have contemporaneous newspaper accounts of this, he liked to play on Church Street out in front of the library, and he would look through the mail slot. And he happened to notice that it was on fire, and he alerted the fire brigade, and they were able to save the bones of the building.
So what were the years when Port Henry was thriving, and when did that all go away?
Yeah, essentially through the second half of the 19th century into the 20th century. By the stock market crash of the 20s, they were pretty much done. The US government then dumped a whole bunch of money into the area and into Republic Steel to ramp up the operations again for World War II. Then once that's completed, the mines operated into really the early 1970s, late 1960s is when they were still productive, and then everything was closed down by the 70s.
So how is it now, would you say?
Well, now we're in a post-industrial landscape, post-industrial lifestyle. There really has not been a good industrial replacement for the mining operation. Prisons were a big industry in the area. Those have been slowly shut down by New York. So the entire Adirondack region is in this transition period from industrial to more of a recreational and tourism economy. And that's a struggle for places like Port Henry. A lot of our waterfront has been industrial, so it's a long transition period. We haven't quite made it there yet.
Okay, so it's in flux.
We're in flux. Yeah, we're in transition.
Do you love it?
I like it here. Lake Champlain is gorgeous. You've got large lake recreating on one side of you, and you have large mountain recreating on the other. There's nothing to not like.
Miners Remember. This sculpture is dedicated to the memory of the miners and their families who forged our town. For their bravery and hard work, we are forever grateful. And there is a pride that goes with work and building a nice community and beautiful buildings. And I think it's very tough when that all sort of goes away. And that's what's happened to so much of the United States. These industry towns where there was one booming industry, and when that industry leaves, so does the energy and the wealth of the town. But let's check out the Miss Port Henry Diner. Looks like a local joint. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah. This is like where people eat, obviously, but down here, this is gonna be a thrift shop or a antique shop. You come down.
Okay.
This is gonna be a gallery of old antiques from around here.
Oh, cool.
There's like these little lanterns that they
There's
use back in the
cars
day.
hanging up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Look at this cool floor. All pennies.
So there was only a couple hundred of these cabooses ever made in the United States.
Okay.
And one of them is here. I do know that.
So, how's Port Henry these days?
It's Port Henry. Yeah.
What does that mean for us non-Port Henryites?
Port Henry is very small. It used to be like very big back in like the older days.
Before you were born.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. It's more of a tourist town in the summer. In the winter, there's nobody.
Nobody.
Nobody. Yeah. It's like, it looks like there's, They used to make old Western movies, like at the intersection here.
Cool.
But it was when they had dirt roads. There's also an ice cave in Witherby, so like if you're driving down the road, all of a sudden you see like fog, and you sit there and you could feel the water and the coldness. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going there. Where does that go? Up towards Mineville, take a right?
As soon as you turn on the road, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see.
Cool. I'm so there.
Back in the day when I think you were a kid, actually, there was somebody named the Garrow Killer, and the ice caps that you're gonna go see, the cave, he killed people and put them in there, and they found them. I think when my grandmother was little, something like that.
The Garrow Killer.
Yeah, the Garrow Killer.
How many people did he kill?
I think 3.
And put them on ice.
And put them in the mine.
Yeah, and he used to live up, I remember somebody telling me this. He used to live up on
the
Barton Hill Road.
Yeah, Barton Hill Road.
Yep.
Is there
The
some
house is still there if you want to check it out.
Is there some haunted energy around here?
None of that.
None of that?
Just weird.
No, I would say up at 80 Barton Hill, there's stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
I used to live there, so it's creepy. And there's a mine. There's a mine and a cave underneath their house. So if you go like this on the ground, you can feel that it's hollow.
Yeah. All right. I don't think anyone in the modern world has been so excited for Mineville and Witherby. I'm fired up. If I don't come back, you know what happens.
Yeah, have fun. Have fun.
Thank you so much. Treasures from the past, open, not closed.
Absolutely.
All right. So if people are in Port Henry, come here for some unique
items.
sort of treasures. Go inside?
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. You from Port Henry?
I'm not from here, my husband is. We moved up from Connecticut.
How do you like it?
I love it here. If you get broken down or no one's rude, no one's obnoxious. In Connecticut, if you break down, they give you the finger, they blow your horn, they scream at you. Yeah,
Up here, people are kind.
yeah, it's very nice.
So you break down winter night, someone's
I broke
pulling
down
over.
Once, there was 4 guys who stopped, and I was scared because I didn't know the area. My husband said, "Oh, don't worry, they'll help you change your tire." I didn't know that. So, because in Connecticut, if you stop and someone knocks on your window, you don't know what's going to happen. But up here, everyone's friendly.
So totally different culture?
Totally different culture. It's all nice and relaxed. No one's in a hurry to go anywhere. You go to a store, you don't know anyone, you end up there for 40 minutes talking to someone you don't even know.
So most people from the outside think of New York City when they think of New York. They don't think of this part of New York.
Correct, the upstate.
And this is real upstate. This is
really
like
this
out
is
there.
almost their Canada.
So they took you in well.
Yes, they did. They
That's-
welcomed me with open arms.
So this must be the castle that guy was talking about. Maybe this was an owner of one of the mines or a top level manager, or maybe it was a resort, I'm not sure. And guys, with a lot of this discovery, I'm coming into it just like you are for the first time. So sorry I can't tell you what this is. Someone from here I'm sure can. Please tell us. That's what keeps this content spontaneous. And the trees are blocking the view from here, but you can see it just looked over the whole lake and out to Vermont, the whole Champlain Valley. Hello, sir. Where are these ice caves?
They're up Pineville. You're going to come to kind of an intersection.
Okay.
Don't drop down the hill, go straight. It's just a little road.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I've been here all my
Okay.
life.
How is it? Do you love it?
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, but we need a little less government.
What do you mean by that?
Taxes are too high for what we get out of them.
Okay.
It ain't like we get our money back on our taxes.
Okay, so you pay in, you don't feel like you're getting much back?
No.
New York's all about what? New York City and Albany and those places?
Well, yeah, I don't know about the county and town tax if it goes to New York City. But what they ought to do in New York City is saw it off, push it down the ocean and sink it. But that's what they ought to do in New York City.
You're not a big fan?
No, make a separate state of it. Let them have their own damn problems.
New York City.
Yeah.
You guys basically want to be left alone up here. Do your own thing.
Yeah.
But you guys got logging now, right? Is that the big thing?
That's petering out pretty fast.
Mining's gone.
Mining's gone.
What's holding it together?
Not a hell of a lot. A lot
Okay.
of welfare.
A lot of
A lot
welfare.
of welfare. A lot of retired people that are just about getting by.
Social Security money.
Yeah. There's some jobs, but they're not right close by. I mean, I'm still working. 67 years old, and I'm driving a dump truck.
You're driving a truck, okay.
I was a dairy farmer for 45 years, and it was a great way to live. But the price of milk got so low, and I just couldn't cover my costs.
I'm noticing that a lot, like the small guys, the dairy farms, it's tougher these days.
Oh yeah, no. It's unfortunately, but it's all going to just the big ones. If you're not milking 1,000, 1,500 cows today, you're not doing nothing. There's only 2 dairy farms left.
Okay.
3 dairy farms left in Essex County.
Oh, okay.
And that's terrible. There used to be 14 just in this little town. It's nothing.
Are the young people staying, or are they moving out, or half and half? Or
If they can find decent work here, they're staying. But
you allow 4-wheelers on the streets. That's awesome.
Well, I'm not sure that's allowed.
Well, take care.
I don't think the troopers just ain't caught up with them yet.
Take care. Nice 4-wheeler, buddy.
Thank you.
That thing's huge.
Yeah.
I'm making a YouTube video. You want to be on it?
Sure.
These are your buddies.
Yeah.
What's it like out here? What's going on?
It's pretty awesome.
You guys rip around on the 4-wheelers?
Oh yeah, always.
Go where you want?
Yeah. People get mad a lot though. You get yelled at all the time.
Not everyone that I run into is on camera. You only see the ones that are, obviously. And I was told to go up on some of these roads. Oh yeah, there they are. The old homes. The old stone employee homes for the miners. And one thing that was brought to my attention recently by some European viewers is they said, wow, Americans are so open. You can just go up and sort of talk to anybody. And that is something special about US culture, I will say. It's not like it's the only place, but I think it's one of the best places on the planet where if you just want to have a casual conversation with someone, ask them how they're doing and like, you know, what's it like in this town? Most likely they're going to engage with you and let you know their thoughts and have a good conversation. That's not everywhere. So a lot of Americans don't know that. That's not everywhere. A lot of countries that would be even looked to be odd, like weird. Why are you asking me this? I don't know you. I realize doing this work that we all live in our bubbles to some degree. Yeah, people travel, but when you really start digging deep, the scope of this country, the actual sheer size of everything is insane. And I do this full time for a living, and I'm constantly amazed by what I run into and how big it's actually, it gets bigger. The more I get into it, it's like the bigger it actually gets. Like, where am I? This is wild. Look at that. There's a church up there on the hill, and then this massive lodge of sorts, a missile. Yeah, try putting a label on New York. New York is like this. Good luck on that one. I mean, Manhattan is in the same state. When's the last time you saw a bowling alley look like this? Looks like it's still in operation, but closed. We've got a missile over here. You don't see so much of that in the United States, actually. When I lived in the former Soviet Union, that being Ukraine, you'd see stuff like this in small towns all the time. Just the random missile monument.
I know what one of them is. The huge one's right here.
Yeah, I was told the ice mines were somewhere around here.
There's basically what is right where that mailbox is.
That first black one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beyond the fence.
Beyond the fence. Yeah. Is it cool up there, literally?
Yeah.
Oh, it's freezing. Yeah.
It's really deep.
And so in the summer it's steaming, right?
Oh yeah. Well, my buddy lives in the red house across the road, and they say they don't use AC. They just pop the windows open, and it naturally cools their house down.
Well, if you go, you can crawl through the fence to get closer to the mine and look in it.
I like your style. What's your name?
Logan.
Logan, okay. Peter.
Peter, nice to meet you.
So you grew up here.
Yeah.
Break it down. What's it like?
I mean, it was a lot of camping in the woods and walking through and kind of doing what you're doing, exploring these caves. There's a huge difference between here and Keene.
Where I'm going next?
Oh yeah, massive difference. Just in the way of like, here you have a lot of low income families, and then you go to Keene, it's just like all rich snowbirds. Like very vast difference, 30-minute drive from here to there. Totally different.
Same county.
Same county. Keene Valley, they have a high school there, but my friend graduated with 8 students because there's just nowhere for people to live.
So it's older snowbird types?
Mm-hmm. People who, you know, rich people who come in and have houses. Very small.
Is there a because I noticed in Vermont, there's a bit of a tension with some of the locals I talked to, where there are the locals and then the wealthier people have moved in.
Yeah.
And there's a tension in that. Is that the same here?
It's the same going closer towards Keene and Lake Placid for sure. Here we don't have it too badly because no one wants to move here.
Nobody's moving in, huh?
There's not really too much to do right now. There's no job opportunities other than like we have the mill, the pencil mill in Ticonderoga, and that's really it.
Do people still use pencils?
I guess so.
Appreciate it.
Peter, it was good meeting you.
Yeah, great meeting you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check this out now.
Yeah, you should. It's pretty cool.
All right. Oh, this is interesting. Just got super cold back here. Literally 20, 25 degree reduction in temperature. Okay, before we get there, for those of you who've seen many of my videos, you're probably like, hey Peter, where's the black shirt? You've worn that the last, I don't know, 200 videos. And so the time finally came. Came out with some new merch. Seek the truth. It's one of the missions of the channel. Nobody fully has it. Okay, they're objective truths like getting hit by a car or someone stealing your money. But with this human philosophical stuff, getting into story, well, it's a little bit harder to find. So the goal is always ask as many questions as you can, listen as much as you can, try to see things from another perspective. No one's a master. I try, don't always get it right, but my goal is to bring you into these situations and ask the questions where, well, it brings us all closer to the truth. So we got this shirt. We have Look Below the Surface, which, well, that's what we're doing here in most of this content. And then American Stories, the US map with characters from past videos. If you've watched the channel before, you've probably recognized some of them. So it's a great way to support the channel. I don't want to sell you guys junk, as in products you don't need. I say no to that all of the time with ad deals, because that's not how I want to be treated. I would only promote an ad that I think is worth something to you or would be useful. We got sweatshirts, long sleeve hats. So if you want to support us in that way, we would love you to buy some of our merch, wear it in style. And just so you know, well, we're getting really in here, but just so you know, the quality of the merch, I spent a lot more money per shirt to get better quality. So you're not going to wash it 3 times and it's all pilled up and shrunken and all that sort of stuff. So you're getting a good quality product too. And guys, it seems to be fenced off, but okay, the point of the story here is it's freezing back here. I went through like some warm pockets, colder pockets, and maybe a bit anticlimactic. We're seeking the truth though. The truth is, it's colder back here, and I might be getting poison ivy. Maybe in my younger days I would have tried to get over this, but that ship sailed. There's another one up there that's gonna take a hike, and believe it or not, we're getting to a town that had 2 Olympics. Can you believe that? Not far from here. So I don't want to get bogged down for too long. But that, I guess, is the pit right there, because it is the coldest right here, like freezing cold. So interesting how that works. Guys, the high peaks in the clouds, can't really see them. Mount Marcy, the highest peak in New York State, tops at 5,300 feet, which for West Coasters, that's not very high, but on the East Coast, it's quite a big mountain. And we're going under 87, which goes one way to New York City, the other way to Montreal, starting the High Peaks Scenic Byway. So a lot of tourists coming up from the city or down from the city are gonna go this way in. This is where the hiking is and the scenery becomes more spectacular. Unfortunately, it's cloudy, but just to put it in comparison, Vermont, the Green Mountain State, the highest peak there, Mount Mansfield, roughly 4,400 feet. So the mountains are bigger here. They're a little more rugged. They're younger than the Green Mountains. And I'd say a little more wild out here, as in more space. All right, guys, Berkshire Hathaway Investments, the Birch Store. We're in Keene Valley. A little bit of a different vibe over here. Looks to be a bit better off economically. A lot of tourism. Second homes, as the guy was saying in last town. And a world away. And maple syrup is serious business, or more so pride, in this part of the country. I don't think you'll see too many Vermonters drinking New York maple syrup, or vice versa, or New Hampshire or Massachusetts. Every state pretty much thinks they have the best, from my understanding. And look at this. You gotta love something like this, where you just walk in and I guess you just leave cash. Here are the prices. You can leave your name and I guess what you bought, put the cash in. The cash stays. How crazy is that? That is so cool. We're in a society here where this business is so trusting. Okay, there are cameras. So we're in the modern world with that security, but still quite cool. When's the last time you did this? Okay, half pint, $7. I don't have change, so I'll leave 10. Here's my New York maple syrup, grade A. And this is how the wood business works here. $8 per bundle, $20 half a row. So basically half of this. Leave money inside the passenger window. So you just go like, how does it work? Oh, you just put it through the slot there. That's awesome. Coming up on Lake Placid soon. We got some mega ski jumps there. Let's see if we can talk to any locals here. You bought an old cop car here.
I did. State police auction.
So it's all modified, goes fast.
Oh yeah, 350 with the Interceptor in it.
People think you're a cop.
All the time.
Undercover with that big antenna.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How much did you get her for, if you don't mind?
$500.
You got this for $500?
I bought two. I bought a blue one and a white one. The white one I paid $4 for.
And it ran?
Yeah, they both run. The other one my girlfriend drives.
Nobody else wanted it?
Nobody bid on it.
Oh, that's great. Do you live around here?
Yeah, born and raised.
Lake Placid?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's all right. A little expensive, but it's all right. See, at the time, my kid's mom, she was opiate addict, right?
Oh, okay.
Packed up and moved out to Utah. I got a daughter out in Utah.
Okay.
Moved her. She said, come out here, try it out here. We went out there and it was worse.
With what?
Drugs.
In Utah?
Yeah.
Worse than here?
Oh boy, you aren't kidding.
Huh.
Yeah. My kids haven't seen their mom in months.
So this is nice up here.
Yeah.
Well, nice car.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm making a video on the whole area.
Are you?
So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Really?
I really want to give cred to this part of the country.
I'm Rob Colby.
Yeah, Rob Colby. Peter Santenello.
How you doing?
Yeah.
And that's my son, Connor.
Connor.
He's the one that caught the big 9-pound brown.
Connor, is your dad pretty cool?
I love my dad.
He's fun?
Yes.
Takes you fishing. Can't beat that. And you drive around in an old cop car.
And we motorcycle ride, don't we, bud?
Yeah, we scare people.
We scare people on that bike, don't we? Yes, we do.
That's cool. This part of New York is special.
It is. It is. They call it God's country. People don't know this part of the country. I talk on a CB all the time. Big President Washington with 80-foot-high antenna. You know, I talk all over the world. And my call numbers are the 666. They call me the Gigolo. So they call me 666, Devil Station from upstate New York. They said they've never heard of it. I got a notebook, probably about 6,000 places I've talked to.
Just for fun?
Yeah.
You talk with people all over the world?
All over the world.
About what?
Just everything, where I'm from, what do I do, and where they're from, what they do. And I keep a log of everybody I talk to.
It's like CB, or what is that?
Yeah, it's a CB radio. System band.
So that's old school, right?
Yeah. It's all peaked and tuned. It came out of the shop at 3.5 watts, and I got it swinging like 60. I got a big power mic that swings another 60 behind that.
And so you just get into a frequency and can talk with anyone?
Yeah, I got upper and lower sideband on it, and I go between channels. I got a 40 channel CB President Washington. I go between channels. I talk on the FCC, which I'm not supposed to. I'm not licensed for it. But I talk on the FCC channels. And I talk to the Bahamas, Bermuda, St. Martin, France. I talk to all around the world. I was living in one spot in the house. Every time I keyed my mic up, the guy's garage door would open and shut. Open and shut. That's how much power I was running out of my radio.
It's just for companionship.
Yeah. I'm a single dad of 4.
Oh, wow.
I got 7 kids. I got one that's 48.
Would you have them at 15?
No, 16. Single dad of all of them.
Wow.
I got Connor's 10. My daughter at home is 13. A 7-year-old and a 2-year-old right now.
How's that going?
Oh, it's tough, bud. It's
Yeah.
tough.
Just to work and raise kids and all the above?
I wouldn't change it for the world.
You wouldn't?
Nope.
Okay.
My oldest son, he was born when he was 2. He did a through and through laceration of his cornea. My daughter was born. My daughter was 1 pound 11 ounces. She was in she was in Montreal. My boy was in Burlington. I got done work and I flipped a coin if I was going to Montreal, if I was going to Burlington after work. So in the meantime, I was in Montreal seeing my daughter because she was just a little tiny thing, you know. Got home and my house was emptied out. The light bulbs gone, everything. My wife left me, said, I hope you do the right thing. I said, wow, really? I sat down, take a shower, didn't have a towel to take a shower with. So those are my 2 oldest ones I raised.
Well, good you didn't run.
No, sir, I couldn't run. Hell no.
That'd be very weak.
Responsibility.
Exactly.
I got 4 of them now that I take care of all by myself.
It's a grind though, right?
It is, every day, every day.
Do you notice the inflation? Do you feel that?
Yeah, they just raised my rent $100 today.
What do you do for work, if you don't mind me
I
asking?
do maintenance for 2 hotels here in town.
Okay.
The weekender hotels.
So you're plenty busy.
Oh, every day.
Guys like you are hard to find.
That's what everybody tells me. But you know what? There's a place right up there when I'm done. Yes, there is.
So with that job, you can support 4 kids?
I do the best I can. Can I support them? I do. I go without a lot for my kids. I'd take my last piece of bread for any one of them. Wouldn't I?
What?
Absolutely. It was hard during COVID. I had 3 computers, 3 kids in school. It was tough. Running back and forth, bedroom to bedroom, trying to help them all out. We got through it, though. They all moved on to the next grade.
Good work.
Thank you. Peter, it was nice to meet you.
Great meeting you.
You too. Thanks.
Take care. Wow, what a great guy. We're getting rained out here, but I want to show you guys downtown. I believe these are the skating rinks. And for those of you who remember Miracle on Ice, the US college team beat the Soviets. Huge upset. The Soviets were much better. At that time, I don't know why we played college players, but we couldn't play pro players for some reason. And so it was a college team that beat the Soviet Union at a time when, let's just say, the Cold War was in flux. It sort of could have gone either way. America wasn't at its best moment. Hyperinflation, gas prices through the roof, and it was a huge win for the country, not only for hockey, but for the country. And here we're coming up on Main Street. You know, this is one of those Olympic towns that hasn't gone broke or dormant. I believe tourism's just come through here and kept it alive quite well. Here's what the prices look like. $1 million, 4 beds, 3 baths. That's what you're gonna get here. Another $1 million home, 4 beds, 4 baths, 3,000 square feet. So depending on where you're from, these are great prices or super steep. Where we started today, definitely super steep. I am absolutely freezing. So we're gonna have to do one of these Lake Placid tourist sweatshirts. Okay, so you're from Bosnia and you're from India.
Israel.
Okay, where you're working for the summer? Is that what you're doing, or what's going on?
She's working for the summer, but I'm here for whole year. So.
Okay, so a lot of international people here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us.
Yeah.
A lot of you.
Bosnian students, around 300 Bosnian students this year, this summer, work and travel program.
How is it?
It's awesome. We have 2-3 jobs. We work in hotels, bars, restaurants.
Oh yeah.
You just work, save up money, go home?
Yes.
Speak English all day?
Yeah.
Cool.
Take a picture.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's get in there, guys. All right.
Yeah.
What have you learned from Wikas?
Hindi?
Achaho. Kaise ho?
Achaho. It means how are you? I'm good.
And I've learned that you can make friends in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere,
We're in
yeah.
Lake Placid. Lake Placid is a
Yeah.
It's removed.
Yeah,
It's removed. It's a weird place.
weird place.
How so?
I mean,
What happens in Lake Placid
stays in Lake Placid, yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
It gave us the best memories.
The best memory.
Are
This is
you-
one of my best friends. I didn't expect this to happen. It
We
just
like
happened.
clicked on the first day itself.
Yeah,
so
first day.
You got to go visit him in India.
yeah, I told him the same. I told her the same.
India
thing.
will blow your mind.
I have a lot of Indian friends because of this program and this place. And he has a lot of Bosnian friends now.
Because, yeah.
So we're gonna, but mostly Bosnians. We take over this
You-
summer. American dream.
See you guys. So cool. So we have the J1 visa workers. For those that don't know, it's the student visas. Usually it's for university students. They come over, work for the summers, then go home. And that program has been going on forever. I think during the pandemic it was shut down to some degree, but good to see it back. I met a lot of J1 visa people when I worked at a restaurant at a resort when I was that age, and it was awesome. It was cool to meet people from all over the world. So here we go. This is, as you can see, a hotel, and the Olympic vibe, the sporting vibe, and thriving. Look at that, 1932. That was the look and the style. Look at the guys in a suit and tie on the skates. Roosevelt, here in 1932. This is the main street. You just were up with all the stores, and at the time, just a few homes. 80 Herb Brooks Arena. Miracle on Ice. That was the coach to the team, and this is where it happened.
Too many good saves. Erozione! Mike Erozione! The countdown going on right now. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
I'm getting goosebumps just by being here. As a hockey lover and an America lover, Miracle on Ice. One of the coolest documentaries, definitely worth watching. It wasn't just a game, it was a moment of pride in the country through sports. And that's the beauty of sports, even though they should be out of politics completely, in my opinion. Athletes have nothing to do with their country's foreign policies. I believe they should all compete. It has something to do with national pride. And right down there on the ice, not just America beating the Soviet Union, who was a much better team if it was pro to pro, it was the college team. And Herb Brooks, brilliant coach, said to his team, don't be scared of these guys. Call them goofy names, belittle them. And the psychology of his coaching enabled the US to win. Beautiful Lake Placid. Look at those homes around the lake off in the distance. And there is so much more to see up here. Unfortunately, we got rained out, but did the best I could. Moral of this story, okay, the main thing I take away from this video is don't easily label a place. So you can say New York is one thing and New York is many things. Even in this broad upstate category, upstate New York, this is one part of it, which is totally different from other parts of it. And even within that, you can be in one county like we were today and see many different realities, ways of living, ideology, socioeconomic statuses, and basic values. Good and bad people all over the place. But always keep that in mind when you put an easy label on something, because the world, the country, the state, the county is way more granular than you think. Thanks for coming along on that journey, guys. Until the next one.